Hi, I'm Katie Moonstone. Welcome back. This is your weekly energy reading update from August 23rd through the 30th. We now enter the Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. We are switching from the Leo season of image to Virgo's substance. This week focuses on emotional clarity, the importance of setting boundaries, especially those of the empath meeting the narcissist. Those kind of dual dynamics, because that's going to resurface this week. This will only help those who want help in breaking unhealthy patterns in narcissistic or abusive dynamics. So, self-trust will be another importance this week. Trusting oneself and making choices that align with personal values and your personal needs. Don't make any big decisions from August 23rd through the 25th. It's a 3-day window, especially those who have felt emotionally confused, restless, disconnected, or strongly pulled towards a particular choice. Your body may feel an energy that is closing out a cycle, so you don't want to disrupt the energy flow, especially those who are ending karmic situations, the narcissistic patterns, the empath versus the narcissist dynamic duo is what I call it. Just let the door close and the cycle close, okay? As we move into Virgo, many of us are going to start moving more carefully. This is a refining type of energy. It's not loud like Leo. In Virgo, the things that you have put off is going to get louder. So unfinished tasks or business, it might come back around. And some of it might come back around just for closure or for forward movement. Take the next 3 days very slow, because if you move too fast with Leo's pride, ego, or selfishness, Virgo will cut your hand, your ego, or your head right off. Basically bite you in the rear. Virgo wants and asks for organization, attending to paying attention to details. It's detail preparation. It likes organization. I already said that, sorry. But Leo's impulse will distract you or work against you, as this energy is going to transition over into a slower. Virgo is an earth sign energy, and Leo is very fast. So we're taking fast pace and slow movement, and it's going to cause like a wall, kind of like a halt. So don't have a fear of judgment simply out of being cautious. So watch out for that, especially if you're an overthinker. What will surface is a truth about yourself that you've been minimizing in front of people, like a talent that you're downplaying, an accomplishment that you kept quiet for the purpose of being afraid that you would be taking up too much space or allowing yourself to be seen fully, or to be seen exactly the way you actually are rather than the one that you allow others to see. Due to the eclipse this week, if you don't feel in tune or aligned, don't panic. There's a cosmic deadline that is approaching. And that cosmic deadline might, if you're not feeling anything, you feel a little out of balance, don't panic, because that cosmic deadline is approaching in other people. So as the window or door closes, many of you might feel like a panic or heaviness. Virgo is going to quietly make you release something that no longer serves you. The panic is you won't really know what it is or what's gone, and your body is used to like a loud closure or some sort of chaos. Virgo does not do chaos. They exit quietly. So this week, something of a repeated pattern or something that is going to leave you because of an old way it no longer works. Leo season will return back next year. So what you don't close out this Leo season by the, in the next 3 days, because this energy transitions over the next 3 days. So what you do not close out this time around, next year in August, it's going to be much louder and bolder. And some things really just don't need a second chance. So be honest and take tonight or the next 3 days to reflect so that you can take a healthier step forward towards a more authentically you. And not the one that either your ego or your pride or even maybe your parents or your family conditions forced upon you. Virgo is all about healthy, so your health is going to be your wealth this season. You are going to see a distinct line between arrogance and someone who's actually has honest self-awareness. You're gonna see mature and immature, a very petty person or a person with growth. Jealousy versus somebody that's genuinely nice and just giving you a compliment, okay? So there's going to be there's no more in-betweens. You're either this or you're that. September is not going to bring in momentum. All it does is carry proof of what already moved in August. August closes with pressure, and September says, now you need to deal with the version of you that acted upon, and basically it's a month of consequences of your action, that version of you that you were when you made those choices. Avoid being in crowds this week so that you're not picking up on other people's energies. This week, do not confuse the first conclusion with the final truth, because the story does not finish when the eclipse ends, okay? The things that are going to eclipse out of your life will be a certain expectation, the amount of energy or authority that you gave to someone or a situation, responding in certain ways, deadlines, goals, specific pictures, obligations, how you deal with people, your commitments, how you show up in the world. Some of you will probably stop making things bigger than what it already is. This is going to be illusions. Allowing responsibilities affect your mood and beliefs. And finally, seeing something, how do I word this? And also finally seeing something that you've deserved. Finally seeing that something never deserved as much of you as you were giving to a situation or to a person. Okay? Don't rush to replace or repair anything or completely reinvent your life, because you're going to feel a sense of urgency. Urgency tells you what was loud. Saturn rules this week, and Saturn does not care about your feelings, because feelings just give you attachments or how much power that you want or that you had, because in a snap of a finger, it can all be taken away, and it will be. What was given will be taken away. So whatever leaves, allow the space to clear. Sometimes that empty space tells you everything you need to know. What matters to you today might not even matter come September 1st or August 30th, because whatever survives all these stages this week, the transition, the eclipse, the silence, and then Saturn giving everyone a reality check, is probably more substantial than what felt urgent. But overall, after this week, you will have a better understanding of yourself and why things had to happen the way that it is going to happen. Life might be simply difficult for some of you, but we do become stronger and better through what we choose to do with everything afterwards. This is about integrity. This week may require you to sacrifice something so that you can have a better future, and that cost is not going to be money, okay? The question will be, what are you protecting so hard that you're not allowing yourself to accept the future that you know you deserve? Are you refusing to surrender to something like the divine plan, God? Remember, eclipses is where darkness takes over and then light returns. But we're going to have a partial eclipse, and that is where the part of the moon is covered and the other part of the moon is not. You will be forced to look at a picture that is incomplete without being completely hidden. Life does not always hand you a clear answer all at once. Sometimes it's a clue, and then a week later, another clue. But just remember, partial information has strange effects on people. The less we know, the more tempted we are to invent the rest of the story, right? Your mind gets an imagination. And by only seeing a section of the truth, realizing later it was false or incomplete, maybe someone isn't who you thought they were. Resist the urge to force a story where one does not belong. Sometimes uncertainty is evidence that the old answer has expired before a new one has even had time to arrive. Not every unanswered question is a warning. This week will bring in confusion and contradictions. Saturn will change the way you see things. Saturn is connected to time, limits, structure, responsibility, commitment, consequences, and the uncomfortable truths that leaves or forces you to make a choice. Saturn will reveal the change and the cost. Do yourselves a favor, watch that movie La La Land, because this goes right inside with this. It is a very good movie. It has Ryan Gosling in it. Remember, Virgo wants tangible. Your truths only become real if it actually changes your calendar, your schedule, right? Saying yes to one thing or a person means you might have to say no to another person or thing. Making a commitment. Making a commitment changes your schedule. Every serious decision destroys one uncomfortable or comfortable excuse. At the end of this week, just notice what feels true to you and nobody else, okay? Whatever this week reveals, trust that clarity will not arrive instantly. Sometimes it needs to prove itself, and slowly. And whatever is meant to stay in your life will not need fear to keep it there. It will be there standing on business. Signs that will be affected the most will be Virgos, Capricorns, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpios, and Tauruses as well. So this is going to be earth and water, but this eclipse is going to affect everyone, but it's just going to affect you differently if these signs are in your, depending on what house it's in. Scorpios, you can expect a wish to come true on I want to say September 10th. Yeah. Earth signs are going to be hit by the moon, so that's going to be all about your emotions. And water signs is going to be hit by earth. And water signs typically don't like resistance. And earth signs don't like to be in their fields. So just know this: God stays close to the wounded. You can't force accountability, but you can trust that God will expose what pride keeps hiding, and and most of us have to heal what someone else refuses to own, right? Truth will always come into the light, and grace will always be met with humbleness. Being humble. I'm having a hard time talking, so some of you might have a hard time communicating this week. All rebuke and cancel. I've tried to also do this video a couple times, and I kept getting delayed, we'll say. Anyways, truth will always come to light, and grace will always meet the humble. Accountability is one of the ways love protects what's worth keeping. And that's the very thing a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to be held accountable to anything. God brings correction because he cares about who we're becoming and what our choices are doing to other people. And that's what this eclipse is bringing. A loving heart makes room to listen. Honesty follows without turning the conversation into an argument. From there, repentance shows up in changed behavior and a willingness to repair what was damaged. Basically, are you of the dark or are you of the light? The Bible shows us patterns of human behavior that's been happening for over thousands of years. Acting offended, people acting offended when their behavior gets exposed. That's nothing new. That's been going on even going back to Cain in Genesis 4. Cain wasn't left without correction. He was warned before the damage even happened. Instead of changing his own heart, he killed his brother in anger, right? Without remorse, and God asking him a simple question. That question was unreasonable. To Cain, he was unreasonable. He showed no ownership and no concern for what he did. God didn't let Cain's attitude become the main story, though. God saw the original harm, and that alone should tell you everything. That story alone should tell you everything. Someone can hurt you, dismiss you, provoke you, betray you. And then when you respond, what do? They act like your reaction is the real issue. God doesn't ignore what happened first. And then it follows Luke 12:2. The time is coming when everything that is covered up will be revealed, and all that is secret will be made known to all. That time is now. I'm going to do a quick short reading today because I have a big week this week. My kids go back to school. It's just going to be a big week. So I'm going to make this a very short video. I want to thank everybody for spending time with me. Let's get ourselves I can't even think right now. Wow. Like my mind just went blank. So watch out for distractions. Remember the 3 C's if you watched my last video. The 3 C's. Confusion, chaos. That's always the devil, right? Or a demon. It's usually a demon. It's not even the devil. Lucifer don't even do this kind of stuff. Anyways, that's too many cards. We just need an advice card for this week to move forward. An advice card. Give us an advice card. Somebody might want to speak, but they're too afraid to speak. Maybe you're too afraid to speak. Somebody might be holding in. Usually when my cards don't speak, someone does not want to talk. So we got celebrate and speak up. They were reversed, so somebody's not celebrating and somebody does not want to speak up. But celebrate, and it's time to start speaking up. You're being asked to celebrate a recent accomplishment, no matter how big or small. Do something special to commemorate the moment. You deserved it, and you deserve so much more, but you didn't celebrate it, which coincides with you had an accomplishment, but you didn't want to tell anybody. Speak up, right? When you are not saying what's eating you up inside, you can't keep this in forever. It's time to let it out so that you can move on and be happy. Speak up. This is about having grace. Someone doesn't want to speak up. Maybe they're ashamed. Do you feel ashamed? Usually when people don't speak up, it's because they know what they did. And that is shame. Some people don't want to speak up because they don't want to be the loud person. They don't want their feelings acknowledged. And that goes inside with what I said in the beginning. So you're not speaking up and someone's not celebrating. This is a time where you need to have grace with yourself. You know, show yourself some grace. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your accomplishments. You deserve everything that's good in this world. Let's start off with an urban truth. When I pulled this deck of cards out of the box, a returning pattern is going to come back around. That was at the bottom of this deck. And it's going to come at the wrong time. Of course. All right. I guess we got 3. So things might come around in 3. Oh, no, I mean 2. Spilling the tea and 3 a.m. thoughts. Spilling the tea and 3 a.m. thoughts. Conversations are happening without you. Information spreads fast. Expect hidden truths to surface. So expect some hidden truths to surface. And 3 a.m. thoughts. The quiet hours reveal your true feelings in your mind. And when your mind wanders back to them, clarity appears when the world sleeps. So maybe you'll get clarity from your dreams. Being in silence. Anyways, let's get some, what do we need to know for this week? This week's going to be, it's going to be a bit heavy. Again with the silence. God, angels, universe, and spirit. What do we need to know to move forward today? Someone is actually releasing the past. They're not playing games anymore because they knew that they were lying to themselves. This is the King of Swords in reverse. So maybe there's some form of truth. Someone's, you know what? I need to grow up. I need to stop playing games. Why? Because maybe somebody you know or someone on or around you has been lying to themselves. You need to forgive yourself or someone for a wrongdoing this week. And when you do forgive someone for a wrongdoing or yourself, you will get the 10 of Cups. That's wish fulfillment. It's a happy family, right? Someone could have been lying and just wanted forgiveness from their family, and they were just doing all of this to make their family happy. I do feel that. Or it could be a group of people. It doesn't even have to be family. It could be friends. This person knows he was lying. It is a masculine energy. This person knows I need to get away from this. I've been lying to myself. I've been lying to everybody. But all he's been doing is making other people happy, and now he's miserable. But you do need to forgive. And you do need to let go of the past. And why was he doing it? Because either this family or group of friends had money. They gave him some money. They weren't struggling. I feel like this group of people is now laughing at this person like, you're a big fat idiot. Mainly because somebody in that family, like maybe the head person, was narcissistic, egotistic, abusive in his power. He put a lot of work and effort into this family. A lot of work and effort. He even has written communication. This group of people was very, very stable. And this little person who was lying always felt like an outsider. And he was lying to himself and to his family or the group of friends so that he could be seen in a different light. Well, the person that was abusive in power was just taking advantage of the situation. And he knew that he was taking advantage, and he saw it very clearly. I do feel like there's a bit of some jealousy. Could be from a father-son dynamic. But the King of Wands is in reverse. Typically, that is Leo energy. It's someone It is abusive, empowered, narcissistic. Just not a good human. I'm feeling evilness. There was evilness behind it. This person saw very clearly and was taking advantage, fully taking advantage of the situation. Meanwhile, this person was just lying to himself and lying to others. And it got him nowhere. It's time to release that. Give yourself some grace. Maybe you just wanted to fit in. I don't know. Maybe this person just wanted acceptance. Nah, it was a wish fulfillment. At the end of the day, this one person knew that somebody was about to get, like, to have it all. And this person didn't want to see that. So there's jealousy here. And I feel like a father was very jealous of maybe like a son dynamic. At the end of the day, this person is going to have it all. Or is someone's wish fulfillment. She is the 10 of Pentacles here. It's having it all. She is returning back to companionship and financial stability. And as some of you, maybe you females out there, were, you know, maybe you were taken advantage of by someone who is abusive in power or a liar. You're about to get a major wish fulfillment. You're returning back to companionship and financial stability. And guess what comes in? Watch out for people. When you start leveling up, the past always comes back. So watch out for people breadcrumbing you, because they just want to hold you back. You're about to level up, and someone's coming in to hold you back and breadcrumb you, okay? They are not in it for the long haul. The devil is sending this person in to do it. This person also has some sort of addiction problem. I think it's drinking. And the devil is basically clear, is, you know, basically saying, I'm choosing this to happen because it was destined and fated for this person to be under judgment. The devil is in control. Let's just say that. It's giving me earth sign vibes. Capricorn, Scorpio. God might intervene on this. I'm going to be honest. This week is going to be very black and white. Dark versus light. Devil versus God. God's plan. But you do got to remember that the devil works with God. Most people don't think that. Never fear the created. Fear the creator, right? God's trying to bring justice and balance and truth to the situation. And even the devil is helping in this. The devil is calling judgment on people who breadcrumbed people, let's say. Yeah, God's making it a priority and is helping others. So if you're feeling like your prayers aren't being answered, that's why you need to ask yourself, who are you following? The dark or the light? And you will get that answer this week. God is trying to bring in some help to people so that they would work together. So something from the past might come back around. Someone that might have wronged you might come in and be like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, but we got unfinished business and we need to start working together. God is actually trying to help two people come together because it was part of his plan. And when they work together, it is going to end completion of a cycle. When these two people come together, it's going to cause an ending, a completion of the cycle. And it's also going to change the world. It is being divinely guided. The divine is also saying, watch out for people and their emotions. They are going to lose control of themselves in the situation, especially if something ends and they didn't get what they wanted. The ones that are going to lose control of themselves in the situation, the ones that can't control their emotions or their feelings, you are going to watch them hit rock bottom. Rock bottom could be anything to anybody. If you're up in your pride and ego and let's say money is your thing, that's the very thing they're going to take away. That's 10 swords stuck in your back. But I also feel like this person who lost control of themselves in this situation, they did it to themselves. And they have nobody to blame but themselves. And then we go back to accountability. Why do you have these 10 swords in your back? Who did you screw over? What you reap, you sow. What you own owns you. If you are an earth angel, if you are the Queen of Cups, my little earth angels, you have a third party coming towards you. It's going to put a lot of work and effort in. It's a Knight of Pentacles, slow moving energy. Some sort of professional, could be a therapist, could be an attorney. Somebody wants to work with you and they're coming in. This person does have money. They also want you to reconcile something. This is going to bring you the Ace of Cups when this person comes in. That's a brand new beginning. That's emotional fulfillment. It's also going to bring in healing. Why? Because something wasn't fair. This third party is part of a contract. This third party might also offer you marriage. You might get a marriage proposal. Or this third party is trying to heal. Maybe you were in a marriage. You had to walk away. But this third party is coming in wanting to reconcile and bring healing to an earth angel. It is soul contract vibe. It is going to bring emotional fulfillment. And it could possibly be a marriage. You never know. Kids will be significant this week. Apologies might be made. Someone might be talking to their kid or getting advice from their kids. But you're being told if you are having conversations with kids this week, maybe your child, it needs to be a heartfelt conversation. This is Page of Cups energy. I'm also feeling like somebody might want to walk away from their kids, but before they do, it's like their one last heartfelt conversation before this person like either moves or leaves. Maybe the kid is married. Kids could be older, but this person plans on, hey, I'm moving. Let's have one last heartfelt conversation. I feel like it's almost like trying to make things right before this Knight of Cups moves forward. It's also bringing truth to a situation. I do feel like there was a lot of lies and deceit. But the Knight of Swords, if someone does plan on moving towards their child, like, hey, I want to have one last talk because I need to go somewhere else. I need to pick up and move. You know, what this person doesn't see coming is that you need to do a little soul searching and a little research. Because you put yourself in a mental prison. You blocked people out of your own life. You caused your own issues. So when you have this heartfelt conversation, you're almost looking like a crazy person. Like your kids are looking at you like, dude, you're married, you're older, we're older. Go be normal, and you're the only one putting yourself in a mental prison. You're the only one that feels trapped. Nobody else actually even gives a crap. Because you are in the Eight of Swords, maybe you were tying yourself down. The moment you free yourself, absolute happiness. Again, you were doing it to yourself. I feel like your kids don't even give a shit. It's almost like you lost the battle. You might have lost the battle, but you didn't lose the war. You had a hard time moving forward. You didn't want to move away from your kids, but by you actually making that move, it brings happiness, and you're actually going, because you're happy, it's gonna draw your kids into you. But by you sitting here being miserable, nobody wants to be around you. And the moment you do this, you finally get a brand new beginning. That's a full embarking into the unknown. And you will not be brokenhearted. Why? Because you freed yourself from the past. You freed yourself from your own mental, restrictions, your beliefs. You're the very person that's going to be asked by the universe, what are you protecting? Is it your ego? Is it your pride? Is it from doing the right thing? Who knows? There is an emperor. Emperor showed up. An emperor has not been celebrating. Maybe you're an emperor, you're walking away from third-party situations. You are moving forward, you do have the strength to move forward. And for some reason, you made a very decisive decision. You don't need to look deeper. You're not fighting. And you see something very, very clearly. It does come with some bad news, though. You might get in your feelings this week because you got your eye on someone who's a little younger than you, but she's charismatic. She's got some sass to her. She ain't gonna let you play games. You guys are about to have a face-to-face talk. It's divine union. Could be soulmate energy, could be twin flame energy. But it's not gonna work. You're an emperor and you're dealing with a queen of wands. It's not a match. An emperor needs an empress, not a queen of wands. And that's why that's in your feelings. You're gonna lose something you're not gonna get back. But it gives you closure at the end of the day. The freedom to walk away. Both of you don't see eye to eye. But it also exposes the real villain. Again, go watch that movie, La La Land. And once the real villain is exposed, nobody wants to touch it. If you are the Queen of Swords, these are my air sign energies. Doesn't have to be. Maybe you're a truth speaker. You're cutting, maybe you cut something out, told the truth. Something's not over. You did try to sever ties, but something's not over. Yeah, you didn't end something with a King of Cups. Water sign energy, doesn't have to be. Something's not over between you and a King of Cups. This King of Cups wants to make sure you're stable. Bringing you to the Queen of Pentacles. Why? Because some sort of secret is going to come to light. What was hidden is going to come to light. It is a soulmate, divine union. Maybe you're married. Maybe the secret is you're married. Maybe this person wants to marry you. At the end of the day, you are not going to cause an injustice. You're just closing out a cycle. But there's something you don't know. What you don't know is that this person has to tell you some sort of truth. This person did not want to sever ties with you. I do feel like you spoke some sort of truth and you severed the tie, or you tried to. This person has to speak some sort of truth to you because there is something you don't know, and it is part of the contract. That's why it's not over. But when this person, it's almost like this person is going to give you a key, because you've been a Queen of Swords. Maybe you keep going back and forth between a King of Swords and a Queen of Pentacles, but this person is going to help you level up in some sort of way. And you graduate to the Empress status. I do feel like this person might give you a job offer or some sort of money that is owed to you. At the end of the day, you get leveled up to Empress status. And once this happens, and this person gives you this key or this level up, This person does walk away, but the contract is now fulfilled and both souls are able to rest. What goes around comes around. I feel like this person did you dirty and he's coming in to make it right. If you are the Nine of Pentacles, if you notice, justice is coming for women. God doesn't play with his daughters. So, if you are the Nine of Pentacles, one more pentacle and you'd have it all. You've been doing everything by yourself. And you're not speaking on it. You're not getting those phone calls. You're definitely not speaking to a King of Pentacles. And you're not going to get a phone call either. Why? Because this King of Pentacles did get his wish fulfillment. You know how he got it? By being a miser. Holding on to his money and his past, being selfish. You're over here doing everything by yourself, and that's why you're not speaking to him. I wouldn't want to be with someone who's selfish either. Trust me, I've had the selfish people. This person is wearing a mask. This person is not who you think, but he is trying to manifest you. He ain't changed. He's still holding on to his money and his past. And yes, he knows he's blocked. So you blocked him. Is he going to do anything about it? Only time will tell, but I feel like time's up. Nine of Swords energy. This guy got his wish fulfillment. How? By holding on to his money and past. And where does that bring him? That's his future. You, on the other hand, you're the Nine of Pentacles. One more pentacle, and you're going to have it all. In other words, you can go love someone else and still have the Ten of Pentacles. This person, on the other hand, will be in the Nine of Swords. He's not sleeping at night. He's having a hard time looking at himself in the mirror. He did get his wish fulfillment. You were his wish fulfillment. But there was just something he was holding on to. His past, his pentacles, his wealth. The very thing that you hold on to is the very thing that goes. And yes, he was wearing a mask. Yes, he is fake. Yes, he is well aware of that. Is he going to do anything about it? Only the eclipse will let him know. That's something he's got to sit with. Unfortunately, that is not your problem. You're the Nine of Pentacles. I would release that energy. That is not your burden to carry. It is his. Don't carry. That's the empath. Empath meets the narcissist, right? Maybe he's not narcissistic, but holding on to the past, it goes back to Bible scripture. People have been doing it for years. You know, I think it was Sarah. She became a pillar of salt. So will he. A pillar of salt. Nine of Swords energy. You're at the Nine of Pentacles. One more pentacle and you're about to have it all. So keep on, keep on. Let those people hold on to the past. Well, I feel like if I kept going, the story would just repeat itself. So we're going to end this beautiful reading with the Katie Moonstone Oracle story. Good luck to everybody out there. And during this week, drink plenty of water. Protect your energy. A lot of projections. People might project a lot because they don't like to be exposed, right? So, anyways, I do feel like prosperity is coming to a lot of you. Yeah, I knew that card. So prosperity, I'm not going to read them all. I will read prosperity, but demon time, the remembrance. So some sort of truth is going to come out. Divine unions and prosperity. This card carries a profound spiritual meaning that transcends its physical appearance. Rings have been used to symbolize various aspects of life, such as love, commitment, power, protection, spiritual growth, self-improvement, and prosperity. This card tells you that prosperity is coming to you in a form of abundance, good luck, and financial success, and that your prosperity is protected as a reward for all of the hard work you have been putting in. Many rings carry signs of leadership and hold a spiritual significance. Each one tells a unique story and carries its own set of spiritual implications, and it is in a circular shape. The ring represents the eternal circle of life. The silver in this ring has a healing energy vibration to promote good health, positive energy, and to ward off any negative influences that may try to block the prosperity that is coming into you. Silver is also known for its purity, its moon energy, which is funny that this card came out because we're going to have a partial lunar eclipse this week to end out the season. So we got moon energy, protection, communication, courage, and strength. You may find that by whatever prosperity or financial blessing or success you gain, it is best to keep it to yourself at this time. Remember, when you level up, different levels have different devils. So move in silence at this time. The other card, as the demons are exposing all the truths, was divine unions. Soul contracts will be significant this week. A divine union is when God puts two people together to further his plan for mankind. These are not random pairings, but a divinely orchestrated union put together by unseen forces for the greater good, not only for themselves, but for the whole of the world. Our lives are made up of many soul contracts and agreements, often made prior to birth, guiding us on our life's journey through predestined experiences, including all of our relationships and all the lessons we are meant to learn that is crucial for our personal and spiritual growth. You pulled this card because you are about to be in a divine union. Remember, the closer you get to God, that's when the evil shows up. When clearing a karmic contract, remember both souls have to learn the lesson for them to be free from the contract. If you have learned your lesson, pray for the other party to learn their lesson so that the contract can be completed, and then let go and let God. That way, God or the divine can intervene, allowing you to move forward into the divine union that was destined, or at least to prepare you or allow you to enter your next soul contract, depending on where you're at on your journey. No one can take your destiny away from you, but the dark forces can cause delays and hinder you from moving forward. The key is to always come from a place of love, understanding, and compassion, not only for yourself, but for all involved. This means the dark forces too, because they need love more than you do. Remember, you're the light. That's why they're attacking you. Many of you will be closing out karmic cycles. I know I've already have, I think about a few weeks ago. So that didn't surprise me when I saw that, because I kind of had that feeling that was going to happen this week when I saw the cards of this week. Sometimes I even get messages in my own readings. Anyways, take care of yourself, and until we meet again.